Hey everybody, welcome back. Sive is here with the ForexPeaceArmy.com. Let's update our view on the cryptocurrencies, in particular on Bitcoin. So today we do not need long-term charts, weekly and monthly. We talked about this regularly, and currently we don't have a lot of changes there. If you would like to know our long-term view, you could read recent monthly report, where we talked a lot about the perspective, when this perspective could come. Meantime, in the short term, I do not see any reasons currently to change our plan that we discussed yesterday. So, not yesterday, last week, on Thursday. So, actually, I think that existence of this big target, it determines the next direction, next step actually. So I suggest that market should try to complete first the target before showing any other performance, such as a reversal or anything. And since market stands very close to this target, which is around 52, I suggest that this will work like the magnet. Now we're talking just about the technical background. We're not considering any fundamental reasons for that, why it could happen. But in general, as you could see in the recent week, actually more than a week, market behaves really chaotic. So it is not driven by some common factors for other markets. It lives on its own, on some own driving factors, which is not everybody understand, and sometimes you could see some unpredictable action. A market relatively thin that any big investor could theoretically, or group of investors could theoretically move the market in any direction. Actually, things that we saw previously here in October, when the collapse has happened here. So this situation remains. And another factor that now is making impact on the Bitcoin and other currencies is that actually the turmoil in the Middle East, it leads to activity of the domestic investors or just people who would like to save their money. Maybe they are selling their property, maybe they are selling real estate or something, thinking on a relocation. Just they can't trust the banks because banking either working or not, and some limitations probably maybe exist there, and they just put the money on the crypto markets just for safety. They will relocate, then will withdraw this money for more purchasing, for some purchasing, or just setting the life on a new place. So that what currently is driving the market. So and this you can see that's going in both directions. First it was to the upside when investors buying, now it's dropping to the downside. Maybe some wave of the buying is over, some is halting a bit, investors start selling. So for this performance, this kind of action, we can't say that this is the reversal stage and market now is ready to reverse and it's go up. I think that it's too early to speak about this. And the classical technical background with the possible reaching and completion major ABCD target seems more reliable in the current circumstances. At the same time, you could see that market now stands very close to the MACD line. I will show you. Start flirting with the MACD. So in the nearest couple of sessions, keep an eye. Maybe minor grabber will be formed here. It's not necessary that it will work. It's not always is working. But appearing of the grabber will be at least something that could, at least suggest that probably it might be some upper direction here. Besides, on lower time frames, we also have some signs for that. It's kind of speculative setup. So if you take a look for our time frame chart, you can see market stands at support 65.38 approximately. Here is not bad thrusting action down. Here is some kind of engulfing. True, if you plot the MACD, you also will get bearish grabbers here. But at the same time, you can see that here in the next candle, market has shown the new top. So these grabbers, well, I would say that it's too reliable in the current circumstances. There exists, they suggest downside continuation, but things that I see here and on the hourly chart suggest that bulls still have chances. I wouldn't say that it might be some really straightforward upward continuation, but at least for some pullback, it's quite possible. For example, if you take a look at the hourly chart, you could see that market could form here the hand shoulders. Why not? With this good thrusting action, hand shoulders could become the starting point for the momentum trade, so we will get the pullback that we could use it for taking the short position on the Bitcoin based on existing momentum. But first, I not exclude the situation where hand shoulders will work and we will get a kind of the ABC direction down and back to the 7-day area. That's what we could keep an eye on in a couple of sessions. But once again, this is purely speculative setup. This is only for intraday trading on hourly chart and lower time frames. It makes no impact on the big picture. If we speak about this one, whether this will be pulled back or not, it will not change the overall situation that we see here currently. So from that standpoint of view, our overall position stands so that we still think that Bitcoin is bearish. We can suggest that reaching of the 52 target seems relatively high in the midterm perspective, maybe 1-2 weeks. Meantime, on lower time frame for today, tomorrow session, if you will see that this pattern will be formed, theoretically we could try to use for a bounce to the 70s, at least to the 70s. So that's in 2 words what we have after this bounce will be completed. It will create the background for taking short position because we have strong bearish momentum, pullback started. It has been completed with some kind of the ABCD, and somewhere in the predefined fib levels, it might be starting of the downward action. So in fact, we have 2 different trades on the intraday charts for trading. That's our 2 cents on the Bitcoin. So let's see how the situation will change.